Hello everyone, this is Grade 2, Module 7, Lesson 22, homework. For number 1, it says each unit length on both number lines is 10 centimeters. So these aren't drawn to scale. Show 20 centimeters more than 35 centimeters on the number line. So if I got to go more, it means I'm adding. So on my number line, I'm going to go to the right when I add, and I'm going to go to the left when I subtract. So since I'm adding, I want to start at 35 all the way to the left because I'm going to be moving this direction. So now I got to go 20 centimeters, which means 10 centimeters per jump. So 10, 20. So if I'm counting from 35, it means 45, 55. And that's where my jump goes to. Let's take a look at B. B says show 30 centimeters more than 65. So again, if it's more than, I know I'm moving to the right, so I got to start my number at the left. So I'm going 30 centimeters this time, and my scale is still 10. So I'm going to count off 10, 20, 30. So I'm stopping here, but now I can count my 30 up. So 65, 75, 85, 95. C says write an addition sentence to match each number line. So my first one, I did 35 plus 20 because I had to jump 20, and that's going to equal 55. For my second one, I started with 65. They asked me to add 30, and I ended up with 95. And I could have 65 plus 30 or 30 plus 65. Either way is good. And the same thing for the up top. I could do 35 plus 20 or 20 plus 35. Let's look at B. B says each unit of length on both number lines measure 5 yards. So show 35 less than 80 yards. So if I'm doing less than, I'm moving to the left. So my number is going to start all the way to the right. So here's 80. I'm counting by fives, and I need to go back to the left 35. So I'll start here and I'll count 35. I'm going to do it by fives. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So I'm stopping right here. So now I can count back by fives with my skip counting from 80. And it'll go 80, 75, 70, 65, 60, 55, 50, 45. And I'll put my Y in for yards. B says show 25 yards less than, so again I'm moving left, 100 yards. So I'll start with 100 yards all the way to the right because I got to go to the left, and I'm going to count off 25 yards, counting by fives. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So now I can count down by fives. And the reason why I do that first to count off my 25 is to get where I'm stopping, and then I can really focus on taking my fives away for this. That's the only reason why I do that. So I have 100, 95, 90, 85, 80, 75. So I can write a subtraction sentence to match each number line. I'm going to write them right next to it. I saw that I started with my whole of 80, which is all the way to the right. I subtracted 35, and I got 45. And I could add my units in there as well. I'm just running out of space. For my second one, I started with 100 yards. I took away 25 because I had to go 25 yards less, and I got 75. Let's take a look at page 2. And I want to start right with 4. And it says Alice measured her belt to be 22 inches long using a yardstick, but she didn't start her measurement at 0. What might be the 2 endpoints of her belt on her yardstick? Write a subtraction sentence to match your idea. Well, the big thing is we have to be able to make sure that the 22 inches will fit on the yardstick. So if it didn't start at 0, and let me say if it did start at 0, it would stretch to 22. So if I move over 1 here, if I started at 1, this would go up 1. So each time my starting point goes up 1, my finishing point goes up 1. Because if I subtract 23 and 1, I'll get 22, which is the distance. So I'm going to pick an easy one. Let's say she started measuring at 10. I need to add 22 more to that. So if I add another 10, that's 20. Another 10, that's 30. And then 2, because I have 10, 20, 2. So 22 is up top here. That'll get me to 32. So my 2 endpoints could be 10 and 32. Now write a subtraction sentence to match your idea. I'm going to subtract these. 32 minus 10 equals 22. So I subtract the starting point, which is 10, and the ending point, which is 32. And of course, my ending point is going to be the higher number, and I want to find the difference between these two. Kind of like this. If I took 22 and subtracted 0, I'd get 22. If I took 23 and subtracted 1, I'd get 22. That's really what we're looking for this. So I hope this helps. Thanks for watching, and good luck on the rest of your homework.